All right, so let's go ahead and talk single back bunch. So single back bunch is a really good complement to the single back trips or the single back trio because it has not only does it have a pitch, which is typically my main audible, it also has a end around that I can mix in as well. But it also, excuse me, it also has three really good passing plays, and the passing plays that I use are spacing switch, verticals, and Z spot. And we're going to be utilizing a unique motion with all of these. So first off, we'll just take a look at the run. We'll come out end around, and we'll come out in random 3-4. So on the end around, if as long as they are not blitzing the outside linebacker on the left of screen, you're going to be able to pick up some decent yards with this run. Now, if they are blitzing, you're probably going to lose yards. It's just the way it goes. Like here, safety came down in the back in the box, probably wouldn't run it. We'll go ahead. I'll show you what it looks like anyway. He was able to pick him up, and we're able to pick up some decent yards there. But for the most part, if you are expecting a heavy blitz to the left, end around is not going to be what you want to run because that right there will happen. Anytime you see a defensive end lined up outside of the tackle, you don't want to run the end around because at best is this scenario right here where the tight end comes back, blocks him, but then I have to cut it up and try to get through this hole, but not really able to do that. The block shed's right there and couldn't go anywhere. So the main run that I like is the pitch. Now you can run the pitch to either side, but I like to utilize this motion where I motion him out a little bit, and that just seems to get me much better blocking than just leaving him stock. Go ahead, run it again. And you can motion this guy out too if you want. You see, you get some pretty good blocking. It's not nearly as good as the tight slots pitch, but overall, I like it. I like it a lot. There you go. Once again, oh wow. If Gronk doesn't get demolished by Patrick Chung right there, go ahead, motion him out again. You see, that time blocks set up pretty well. We were able to get to the outside. So, as I mentioned though, you can run this multiple ways. You can run it to either side you want just by flipping the play. Like that. You can also motion Gronk, which is something I've seen people do out of this. They'll like motion Gronk, and they'll try to like do that right there. Now, I've seen that work, and I've also seen that completely fail. So that's not something I've personally used a lot of, but I have seen it. And there's basically lead blocking with that. It's a nice little motion, I guess. Yeah, might have to incorporate that a little bit more than I already do. You just motion them in a couple clicks, motion them back out. That right there is what I've also seen happen. So I don't know. I like this motion right here where you're motioning either of these two guys, Edelman or Cooks, to the outside, and you should pick up some decent yards, right? Like I said, not the greatest pitch in the world. I also don't have fast linemen, so it doesn't really help in that sense. But you're able to pick up some decent yards, and especially if they're blitzing. If they're blitzing heavy, pitches are really good. So I mainly look to hit the pitch when I see like a 3-4 odd show blitz or somebody sitting in crossfire a lot and they're just spamming crossfire. That's a run that I like to go to. So now that we've got the two runs out of the way, let's talk about the passing plays. So basically, I use three plays, as I mentioned: the spacing, switch, verticals, and Z spot. For those passing plays, spacing switch is my short little quick hitter. I'm pretty much looking to hit this B receiver anytime I don't expect them to have hard flats. which most people don't, right? If they don't have hard flats, you just throw it to the B receiver. You pick up 5-6 yards. It's a really good play on like third and medium where people aren't going to put hard flats, and you know you're going to go for a fourth down anyway, right? So once again, man coverage will get beat by it, as you saw right there. Let's see, what are we in here? Man coverage again. We'll go to a Tampa 2. So here's going to be cloud flats. So against cloud flats, you'll see that he'll bite down, but you can still throw it. Like I said, the only thing that's going to pick that off is going to be a hard flat. So as long as you're using this situationally, they should never have the hard flats on the field. And even if they do, say they're coming out in cover 2 invert's a really good play, actually. So here's cover 2 invert with the hard flats. So you'll see that they're going to rush out there, but it's going to allow you to throw that low ball to one of these little baby curls. So we'll go ahead and do it again. This looks like a cover 9. So hard flat out there, low ball to the curl. You can, if you want, since they're really not doing a whole lot, you could drag Edelman and you could drag the X receivers. So you could create a little dual drag concept like this. But you don't have to, like I said. Legit, you're pretty much reading out route or curl, B and RB. You could streak A if you want. Like you could do so many different things. Right here, I missed the read. I had B. I was looking at the streak and didn't throw it. So we'll go ahead and do it again. That was bad. That was man coverage. I didn't throw it once again for whatever reason. Anyways, here we go. Streak, boom, out route. I mean, that was cloud flat, hard flat. It was one of the two, but it doesn't matter. Same thing, boom, out route. It's a very easy 5-yard gain. I mean, it's very difficult to stop, and especially not something that your opponent is really looking to hit or really looking to stop, right? You can motion them out, like if you want to mimic the toss, as you saw right there. Do it again. So, I mean, like I said, nice little play. It's definitely not a big gain, but it's definitely something to mix in because most of our passing plays, we don't really pick on the flats or we don't pick on making our opponent have hard flats. So, just one of the things that we do. Now, didn't mean to hike this ball right here, so I'm just going to roll out, throw it away. Verticals is going to be up next. So, verticals, I use 2 different setups for, right? So my first setup is to max protect, streak the outside receiver, then drag the ISO receiver. After that, I'm going to motion A to the right and hike the ball. This is going to give us a high-low read, very similar to the mesh post concept. You'll notice that I think mesh post is probably the hardest play to defend. So I've built my offense pretty much around that. So once again, here we go. That was man coverage. We just dumped it down to the drag route. Go back to verticals again. Looks like it's man coverage again. Drag route. I'm going to force the Patriots out of man coverage. Oh, here's cover 6. So cover 6, go back to verticals. And you don't have to max protect, but you can just to get that extra blocking. Here we go, drag underneath, post over top, easy dot. So, a drag route, post, or a crossing route, I should say, and then the streak. Now, you also have Z-spot. So Z-spot, I like to do the opposite, right? So here I want to max protect, I want to streak B, and I want to drag X. So it's the same hot routes. The difference is now I'm motioning Edelman across the field. And then I'm going to hike as soon as he sets. You got boom, you got drag route, you got drag route, you got deep cross. So it's the same type of concept. You're just mixing up what we're doing, where they're going. Before I even get back into that, verticals, you can also do this. So say they're in a cover 3. Say they're doing cover 3s with hard flats. A lot of people, especially on Weekend League, love this defense. You can do this right here, where you motion A across the field, and you can hike the ball before he sets. I broke this down in the New England guide, and you can see it right here again. Boom. Easy dot. Anytime they have hard flats, that's a dot. Do it one more time. We'll go to a cover 2 with hard flats. This is something people actually run right now since there's the cloud flat glitch. We're going to go ahead. We'll fade X, motion A across. Boom. You can see it's hard flats. It was open. I got screamed at. Don't know who came free, so do it again. Here we go. We've got hard flats. We got a dot. Once again, this is against the all 91 zone team. So, other things you can do out of verticals if you expect to cover 3. So, in a cover 3, I have Edelman here, so this probably isn't going to... We'll go ahead and do this again. Let's see. We'll go ahead... Z-spot. So on Z-spot, if they're in a cover 3, you can max protect, fade X, and then motion Edelman to the outside. So I would do this setup right here, where I would in route or drag the B receiver, motion A out, and hike before he sets. So now you'll see right here, once again, now I'm motioning him to the outside, and I'm able to attack the cloud flat on that side. So here we go. Once again, we got cloud flats, so we'll flip to play. Motion him out. Hike before he sets. And that was a bad read. Is this man blitz? Yeah, it is. All right. Anyways, here's man. Go ahead. Was this another man blitz? It is. All right. See how this motion jacks that up though? It kind of creates like a little pick play essentially, because you saw before we motioned, he was lined up directly on top of him. Once we motioned him out though, the safety didn't follow. And by the time that he got over there, because of the fade is basically picking him from getting over to Edelman. All right. Not only that, we have the drag, or the flat, I mean. So, man's definitely not the move against this. Here we go again. What are we in here? Another cover 1. So, that time you see cover 1, the safety got over there, or the linebacker, and it didn't matter. It's just... But he breaks to the outside, and we're good. Let's see, what are we coming out in now? Engage 8. That's the move. Anyways, back to this. So here's cover 2. My main setup that I use out of the Z-spot, and I'm rambling a little bit here, but my main setup out of the Z-spot is to max protect, streak X, drag B, and then I motion element across the field to create that mesh post concept. So now I got the drag underneath, and I have the post over top. That's the main setup that I use. You can motion this guy to the outside though, as I've shown. Boom. That was just a great play. Go ahead and do it again. And you got it. So I'm trying to think of anything else that I'm forgetting. You can also lowball that, and it's also a cover 3 bomb. So here's cover 3. If you motion element out, hike before he sets, you're able to, well, Jesus, you're able to throw well over the top of the corner, because he's going to slow down as soon as Edelman breaks on that corner route. So that's man coverage. Fuck. Here we go. Cover 3. I threw that a bit early, but you can see he definitely gets behind the corner. This shouldn't be anything new to you guys. As soon as Edelman breaks, you can see that he's kind of stops sprinting backwards, and it allows Cooks to get behind him. That's cover 3 bomb. That's basically it. That's all I use out of here, out of the Singleback bunch. If they are one of the like weekend league warriors where they just sit in cover 3 with cloud flats. So if they sit in cover 3 with cloud flats, my favorite setup to do against that, I drag the tight end, I drag B, and then I motion A to the outside. Because now I'm just going to pick on the 2 drags. So pretty much I'm forcing them to have cloud flats. And as soon as they have cloud flats, I'm able to just hit the dual drags. Another thing you can do, so here's cover 3. So there's people out there that simply don't adjust out of cover 3. They just rock with the purples. If that's the case, you can chuck the corner out with a low ball. That's it. That's all I got for you guys out of this formation. Definitely something I mix in. Not something that I think I would build like a whole offense around, but it's got some nice little plays in there. So hope you guys enjoy it.